something strange happened to the world. Monsters suddenly appeared everywhere, threatening humanity's survival. Then, a massive tower called the Tower emerged, giving power to these monsters. People called it the Devil's Tower or God's Tower. The tower promised to fulfill any wish if someone could climb it, offering power, wealth, and honor. It had 999 floors filled with challenges. Governments tried to stop people from approaching the tower, but no one could resist its allure. Those who tried to prevent others from climbing it faced consequences. Billions of people had been obsessed with the tower for the past 5 years. One day, a man decided to lead humanity's attempt to conquer the 600th floor. He fought and defeated many monsters. He was known as the Dark Star and was part of a group called the 9 Stars, who were the strongest challengers. Among all the challengers, the 9 Stars were the most powerful, using magic and holy energy from the tower. However, the Dark Star became unstable and attacked the 9 Stars, as he wanted to be the strongest. They fought back, accusing him of betraying humanity. But the truth was that the 9 Stars had actually betrayed the Dark Star, and the world didn't know about it. The Dark Star couldn't defeat all of them alone. 10 years passed, and the Dark Star, lying in a bed, screamed that he would return and get revenge on the 9 Stars. He had the ability to transfer his soul into a new body. He checked his new body and realized he was still in South Korea. He was angry about what had happened in his previous life. In a flashback, the Dark Star was almost dying, and the 9 Stars asked if he wanted to know why they betrayed him. They used a spell to prevent undead beings from coming back to life. 2 of the 9 Stars, Cain Pelin and Carmen Pelin, were present. Carmen Pelin mocked the Dark Star, saying he was weaker than the 9 Stars. The Dark Star defended himself, saying he was only trying to help. Cain Pelin explained that they saw him as a threat and wanted to eliminate him. The Dark Star, on the brink of death, used his soul transfer ability, promising to return stronger and seek revenge. After the flashback, he checked his smartphone and realized 10 years had passed outside, though it felt like a short time for him. He discovered his new body had no magical power. Knowing he needed to climb the tower again to become stronger, the Dark Star saw this as an opportunity for revenge. With the knowledge from his past life, he set off on his journey, even though he now inhabited a weak body. The story continues at the tower, where people gather with hopes and stories. It is there that the Dark Star's quest for revenge begins once more. Then he went into the tower and got a welcome message for the beginner stage. He realized this place was really hard, with lots of traps. His goal was to get through the traps and reach the end. When he checked his abilities, he saw that all his skills were really low. But he noticed a special ability called Gluttony that he didn't have before. He started the trial by running on a bridge, but accidentally triggered a trap. Arrows kept shooting at him, and even though some hit him, he kept going. But eventually it was too much, and he had to go back to the start. Luckily, he instantly recovered when he returned to the beginning. He knew he couldn't just run without a plan. So, he used his gluttony ability to consume things around him, like his own spilled blood. This made him stronger and more experienced. He kept trying the trial again and again, getting better each time. After a month of trying, he finally finished the beginner's stage. A message popped up and congratulated him. Another message said that the gods and demons were interested in him because of his methods. He got mad at them, but the gods were angry, and the demons thought it was funny. One demon called Baal caught his attention. Baal had helped him in the past and gave him the power to send his soul to different bodies. The Dark Star realized that all the gods were interested in him because of Baal. He told Baal to be quiet and watch without causing trouble. To get even stronger, he consumed his own blood again, which made him more powerful and improved his abilities. He even unlocked a new trait called All-Rounder, which meant he could be good at lots of different things. He was excited because he couldn't do that in his previous life. Baal was curious about his abilities, but he ignored him. He was focused on his potential and determined to become even stronger in the tower. Demon Baal asked if he could join him on his journey, and he agreed. They entered a room called the Room of Choice and Training. A message appeared, informing them that they could choose their preferred weapon and class. After making their selection, they were instructed to destroy the floor beneath them, which would transport them to the tower's first floor. The Dark Star, reflecting on his past life, discovered that he possessed the ability to use mana. Based on this realization, he quickly decided to become a mage. However, due to his unique all-rounder trait, he wanted to challenge himself by using a weapon he wasn't familiar with. Therefore, he chose a bow to start his training. Excited to begin, the Dark Star asked the system to generate practice targets. As the targets appeared, he started practicing his skills. Feeling daring, he requested that the targets be able to attack him. However, a warning message cautioned him that it might be dangerous since he hadn't chosen a specific class yet. Ignoring the warning, he confidently faced the attacking targets. He began shooting at the targets with his bow, displaying impressive accuracy. As the practice session progressed, he switched to a great sword and effortlessly cut down the targets as if they were made of tofu. Feeling a surge of confidence, he challenged the system to summon stronger targets. Responding to his request, the tower conjured a large target. Swiftly, he leaped onto the target, destroying its face. In a seamless transition, he then switched to throwing daggers at targets behind him, showcasing his agility and precision. When confronted with ranged attackers, he quickly sought protection behind a shield to defend himself. A warning message appeared, indicating that these were the most dangerous targets that could be encountered on this floor. Unfazed, he smiled and resolved to use his specialty to overcome them. He swiftly picked up a staff and unleashed magic arrows, completely obliterating the targets. Astonished by his own proficiency, he wondered if his all-rounder trait had given him an innate understanding of these weapons. A message popped up, congratulating him on clearing the achievement, and rewarding him with the prestigious title of All-Master, and 5,000 points for completing the floor. Initially, he had mistaken All-Master as a trait rather than a class. However, he hesitated to select it as his main class since he believed he couldn't abandon the advantage he gained from his past life class. Instead, he proposed choosing All-Master as his subclass. Surprisingly, the system informed him that the subclass could only be unlocked after reaching the 100th floor. Determined to find a solution, he suggested using his achievement points to unlock the subclass. The system expressed shock at his awareness of such a possibility. The Dark Star explained that he knew achievement points could be earned by completing tasks, and that they allowed users to make changes in the system. Understanding this, the system confirmed that using 5,000 points to unlock the subclass was indeed possible but required 5,050 points. Realizing he was 50 points short, he recalled his encounter with Demon Ball, who had revealed his identity, and engaged in conversation. He wondered if there was an accomplishment for this interaction. To his delight, the system awarded him 200 points for talking with Ball. However, he urged Ball to refrain from doing so in the future. With 5,200 achievement points, he approached the system once again and proposed using them to select All-Master as his subclass. The system, acknowledging his determination, approved his request. A message appeared, congratulating him on successfully setting All-Master as his subclass. Eager to begin his quest for revenge, he destroyed the room of choice and training, declaring his intentions. In an instant, he was transported to the first floor of the tower. Emerging from a crack in the sky, he found himself amidst a forest where monsters were attacking some climbers. Without hesitation, he leaped into action, launching an attack on the monsters. Facing a kobold, he taunted it, reminding them of their previous encounters. The kobolds grew angry, and he declared that by devouring them, he would gain more power. A climbers who witnessed him defeating a kobold with a kick was astonished. They were surprised because he was a mage but had displayed such physical strength. Impressed by his skills, the climbers wanted to team up with him. However, he warned them to stay away, explaining that anyone who touched them would meet their demise. Understanding the gravity of his words, the climber decided to flee. Suddenly, the kobolds began attacking him, but he effortlessly dispatched them without breaking a sweat. One kobold attempted to escape, but he swiftly eliminated it before it could get away. A message appeared, welcoming him to the first floor and indicating that he was late since he had already slain the kobolds and started looting. Another message notified him that he needed to kill 10 kobolds to advance to the second floor. Inspired by the prospect of eliminating kobolds, he contemplated the idea of killing all of them to achieve the Kobold Slayer accomplishment. In his previous life, he had sought to obtain all the Slayer achievements. Consuming the kobold, he absorbed its strength, memories, and the ability to understand their language. His status significantly increased, already matching the strength of a climber on the 10th floor. It dawned on him that as an All-Master, he would receive all the bonuses associated with each class. Through the kobold's memories, he discovered that some people were imprisoned, and he learned about the Kobold Lord. Excitement surged within him because defeating the Lord would trigger a monster wave, granting him achievements easily. However, he realized that he would need an army to face the wave. Recalling a familiar phrase from solo leveling, he uttered the supreme word, "Arise." Instantly, monsters were revived as undead under his command. A message appeared, confirming his successful class change. He attributed his ease in changing classes to his knowledge from his past life, understanding that it would have been challenging for beginners. Unsatisfied with his newfound power, he remembered that there was still a hidden class on the 1st floor. More kobolds arrived, but they were fearful of his summons. Ordering his skeleton soldiers to eliminate every kobold they encountered, he ventured onwards with his army. Finally, he reached his destination, a place where he could relax, knowing that no one would discover it. Instructing his soldiers to wait at the entrance, he shattered the ground, revealing a staircase. He entered the room, dropping stones he had collected from defeated kobolds. It became apparent that he was searching for the first spirit master, who had been hiding in a coffin. As he opened the coffin, a large skeleton emerged, introducing itself as Vulcan and asking if he was its descendant. In his mind, he greeted Vulcan, saying that it had been a long time since they last met. Vulcan was surprised by his lack of surprise, to which he replied that a necromancer shouldn't be surprised to see a skeleton. He explained that he came here after reading Vulcan's journal, a hidden item called the Journal of Spirit Master Vulcan. Although he hadn't read the journal in his current life, in his past life, after choosing to become a mage, he regretted that decision. He had discovered the journal and returned to the 1st floor, where he became a spirit master. However, his attempts to make Vulcan one of his summons had failed. Vulcan expressed his liking for him, stating that he was better than the rude person from 10 years ago, referring to his past life. He thought of destroying Vulcan but decided to change his class first. He expressed his desire to change his class, but Vulcan informed him that he needed to reach the 10th floor first. Spirit Master was a higher class than the Necromancer, and he could only change it after the 2nd class change on the 10th floor. He showed his current Necromancer class to Vulcan, surprising him that he had changed his class without reaching the 10th floor. Vulcan was amazed by his talent, comparing him favorably to the previous individual. He stated that he had no intention of changing his class, and Vulcan jokingly remarked that he couldn't stop talking. They proceeded with the rituals. In the past, before the tower appeared on Earth, Vulcan was the dominant climber who ruled over it. Although Vulcan was the strongest necromancer, he sought more ways to become even stronger. He desired a summon that surpassed the traditional ones made of bones and sought to call forth the soul of the dead, aiming to create a new and superior summon. After much effort, he succeeded in creating a new class, the Spirit Master. However, his old body reached its limit, and the Spirit Master class was on the verge of disappearing. Thus, he resorted to using necromancy on himself, hoping that his descendant would restore his honor. Vulcan became someone who was half NPC in order to find a climber who could follow in his footsteps. Returning to the present, the ritual was complete, and the Dark Star successfully changed his class to a Spirit Master, becoming the 3rd Spirit Master. Vulcan instructed him to use the Soul Crucible to capture souls and summon his own minions. However, he had different plans. He intended to capture Vulcan's soul to add him to his own army of soldiers. Vulcan congratulated him and told him to spread his name, but he replied that he should do it himself. Vulcan was confused, and in his frustration, he asked if the promise written in the journal had been forgotten. He stated that pushing work onto others was a bad habit, and he slowly approached Vulcan. He used a spell called Soul Collect to capture Vulcan's soul. Vulcan attempted to run, but he found himself trapped in a magic prison created by him, a low-level spell he had developed specifically for this purpose. Vulcan believed he could easily break through the wall, but he had set up multiple barriers along the way, using kobold mana stones he had scattered earlier. Although Vulcan could break through one wall easily, he wouldn't be able to break all of them before he captured him. Vulcan wondered who he really was, how a first-floor climber possessed such skills and tactics. And he finally revealed his true identity as Cha Jin-hyuk, the one who had failed to capture Vulcan in his past life but was now able to accomplish it. With Vulcan's soul captured, he assured Vulcan not to be upset because everything he had desired would come true by being with him.